Did I get that right?
Acapulco, Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
And the
Mardi
Mardi
Gras.
Gras, all the peasants would come down from the hills, and they had these like white suits on and sombreros, and they had all these old battered up brass instruments, tubas and trombones and trumpets, and they'd form around in little circles and they'd play these numbers, simple, I guess, Mexican melodies or something. Yeah, I just got in. I took a guy's trumpet and I started playing with the band. I could kind of follow along, so that was kind of fun. But
That must have been fun.
yeah, I wasn't. My friends drank, but a lot down there, but I didn't drink that much.
Well, they drank beer or tequila or just whatever.
They drank everything.
He got one out of jail at one point.
Well, that was the big thing. We were in Ciudad Victoria, which is a lovely little town, and we were staying in a nice hotel. It had, it was like a rectangular thing, and it had in the center it was open with a garden.
Little plaza, a little like courtyard.
Little plaza, like in the middle,
Yeah. Like Spanish.
Spanish style.
Yeah.
And we would eat out there in the morning. I remember every morning we asked for huevos tibios.
Yeah, you told that story a lot of times.
Yeah, and then we wanted hard-boiled eggs,
Right.
but we kept, and my friend who had Spanish 1 at Dartmouth College, he would explain to him at length that, we want the eggs cooked not 3 minutes, but whatever, 5 or 10, whatever.
10 minutos.
Whatever, no. And they say, see. And every time we opened the bloody egg, it was like a hot, raw egg, It was, I don't know. We never got the hot eggs. And we got the frioles, and hot sauce, and we like that. And the frioles and huevos tibios.
And you would say, ¿Cuánto es whole mess?
Huh?
And you would go into a shop and say, ¿Cuánto es whole mess?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No,
But, well, after we joked around, we would say that to ourselves. There was one guy with it. But anyway, my friends in that hotel, I was waiting for them one night, and they didn't come. They didn't come in, and I didn't know where they were. And then I don't know if it was the next day. I didn't. So I went to. There was a mechanic working on a 1941 Town and Country Chrysler 4-door convertible with wooden sides, and we needed a valve job because we had no power. We couldn't even get over the hills. So we negotiated a deal with a local garage. The guy spoke English and he had worked in the United States. And the guys were filing down the valves by hand. They didn't, they had like, and they were sitting up on the block. I could see them. They were over the block, going back and forth like that. And they
were boring out,
smoothing the valves down.
Yeah.
We had to pay so many pesos because at that time there were 12 pesos to $1. So I mean, this could have, we could have been doing this for, I don't know. I mean, even 100 pesos, that would only be
$8 or something.
So we negotiated a deal, and so I went back to the garage, and the guy spoke to me. I said, my friends didn't come home. I don't know where they are, And so he went with me. We went to the police station. We found they were in jail, And they had mistakenly gone to Boys Town. Boys Town happened to be the local whore house.
Okay.
The what?
Nothing. A place you're not supposed to go.
A house of ill repute, it's called. A house of And somehow they got in trouble and they got arrested. And so the cops...
Didn't it have to do with them going on a U.S. military ship, or was that a different...
The same thing happened with those guys. Anyway, this guy and me, we went to the police station, and this guy was my spokesman. We had to negotiate with the police chief how much we would pay him to get my friends out of jail.
Yeah.
So we lost a lot of our money.
Right. Then he couldn't pay for the valve job and had to hitchhike home.
I had to pay for the valve job, too. But then I had to pay to get the guys out of jail. I don't know, but we were able to bet, and I got them out of jail. You know,
Hmm.
may still be there, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Tana's dad? Wow.
And
You were on the beach and you
yeah,
had this
they-
revelation, like, what am I doing?
then they got arrested in. They got arrested by the Navy in Acapulco Harbor because there again I was out with them and they went off by I don't know why, and they didn't come home and I didn't know where they were, but there were a lot of sailors in town. An American ship was in the harbor, a destroyer or something, and they were out drinking and everything. Oh yeah, and living it up and then they went with all the sailors were returning to their vessels on a launch. And they went out with their friends. I guess the sailors invited them to the ship. And they went out. Well, this is what they told me. They went out, you know, you go up the ladder on the side, and the officer of the day is at the top of the sailing. And they showed your IDs, and they showed their Dartmouth College ID or something. I don't know. And they both ended up in the brig on the destroyer. You know? And so, yeah, so I don't know. So that was it.
That was Mexico.
Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time in Acapulco because we lived in a house up on a hill where all the Mexican tourists went. We paid a ridiculously low price. I don't know. It was like I don't think we paid $1 a week to stay there. You know. I mean, there was a big barrel on the roof that filled with rainwater, and if there was any water in it, that's how you took your shower, you know. It came down into the bathroom. And we all slept in the same bed, 3 guys, and we sleeping in the same bed. And if you turn the light on at night, all the walls were infested with lizards. And even the ceiling, they were upside down. And you turn the light on, and they'd all come to attention, and they'd put their heads up. And you have like hundreds of lizards all over the wall and the ceiling. Hey, that took something to get used to, you know. All these lizards in the room with you, you know. But didn't bother me after a while. And we had a nice porch in that house that overlooked Acapulco Harbor, you know. It was up on a hill. And I remember the nice vines and flowers. And the couple that ran it, they seemed to be nice, but they didn't speak English. But my friend who went to Dartmouth, he spoke some Spanish and enough to really get by, and all of a sudden he had a nice girlfriend, you know. And,
What was his name?
Dick Tweedy.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, that's the problem with we had this guy with us. His name was George. And he actually was financing us because we lost all our money. He got an he was crazy. He had schizophrenia or something. He got a check of $100 a month or something, SSI, and we were actually living on that, you know. And George, he would tend to get in trouble. Like we stayed in a pretty good hotel when we were coming through Mexico City. Downtown Mexico, and we were up on the 2nd floor. I remember we had a nice room, and we were going out the door, and we got stopped by the police, and they opened our trunk, and this George Jointu, his name was, he had filled his suitcase full of towels, so, you know, he was stolen from there, you know. He would always get in his trouble, and so, of course, before I went there, I had a good friend at University of Chicago. His name was Vern Williams from Portland, Maine. And he spoke fluent Spanish because he had been in the Navy and he was stationed in Guantanamo. And he was in Havana. He was in Havana, Cuba when the revolution occurred on July 27th. It was whatever year it was. And he was in a bar restaurant in downtown Havana when the revolution occurred, and the rifles started and gunshots, and he had to hide under a table. Well, Vern was a University of Chicago student, and he was interested in. Yeah, he was working for a degree in marketing.
You're hungry. I don't know they had that degree at Chicago.
Yeah, this
Thought it
was
had
in
to be
grad
like
school.
sociology or something.
Well, he might have been sociology.
You're hungry, Nora Louisa.
Well, Byrne had been.
Do you think Gabriel can go find you something?
There's a well-known.
How about some peanuts, Nora Louisa? Do you like peanuts?
No.
Do you like blueberries?
I want princesses blueberries.
Pretzels? Krista, do you mind getting her some pretzels? They're in the pantry on the shelf.
Well, Byrne had been an aide to an interpreter for an anthropologist named Robert Redfield, who was a very well-known anthropologist, and he had done long-term studies at a particular village south of Mexico City where Zapata, the revolution occurred. And he was the mayor of this town that Zapata lived in, and I can't remember the name of the town. But Byrne wrote a nice letter for me to the mayor, and he said, "You show this to the mayor." It was in Spanish. You'll have the town will be open to you, and I was looking forward to that, you know. But then when we got there, I said to my other friend, I said, I can't go into this, mayor. I can't bring George in there with this, you know. He's too trusty. So I lost that opportunity to make the mayor of this town that's Zapata. So we went from there. We south of there to Acapulco.
Did you ever read On the Road where he goes to Mexico?
Are you filming?
I am filming, yeah. I've been filming it.
Actually, I had read On the Road before then.
Yeah. I guess everybody went to Mexico in the 50s, so.
Yeah, it was a kind of a stupid move, but I was living with this guy, Melly Faber from Los Angeles, and this guy, Richard Tweedy, and his friend, they came by and they said, it was just like on the spur of the moment, we're going to Mexico, you want to come? And I said, yeah, okay. And I had $50, that's all I had. And
Whose car? Who drove?
well, it was Tweedy had bought the car, so like a 41 four-door Chrysler, you know, had wooden panels on the side.
Oh yeah, the
wonderful.
Chrysler Town and Country that you mentioned that needed the valve
Town and
job.
Country. It was beautiful
Yeah.
car.
But so that car was a good 15 years old or so. I mean.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful, you know. And so there we were. We went off, and I think I just dropped out of school. I mean, it's stupid.
Mm.
I don't think I even told anybody in the school.
Mm.
I just didn't go, you know. So I did get back in.
Mm.
They let me back in, you know. Just,
Mm.
But I think I always had a thing. What, me worry? I don't think I really worried about those things, you know.